ranks of the juniors to the mini drivers, and we have several new faces in this X30 mini category for 2021, including one of the particular drivers who is all the way from India. He races under a Spanish license. We caught up with him earlier in the weekend. Jagrat Datroja.
It's my first year doing it. Last year I saw many races and it's pretty competitive. I want to make my country proud. The one part it's technical and some parts are like fast, and we have some straights and some technical parts. So this circuit is good because it's equal, like technicals and fast and all that things. So I like this circuit. I have been practicing for about like 2.5 years. Always fast, and we catching other drivers, and I hope we make our country feel proud and come in a good place.
It's always great to see new drivers make their way into the IAME Euro paddock, and we welcome Jagrat Datroja as well as all of the others that are here for the first time. This is the first mini heat of the day, and obviously they're going to be staggered into their own individual groups as well. It's going to be a busy pre-final for the mini drivers with 32 competitors in the ranks, which means there are 16 drivers in each heat. And let's talk you through them. On pole position, after a brilliant run in time qualifying, Sandro Perez Sanchez, who has made the switch over to the MDC racing team and the CRG kart. And he will be there on the front row of the starting grid after a brilliant performance last year to grab the podium. This year, he wants a victory. Alongside him on the grid is Raul Janjaren for the Monlau Competición squad. He will be there starting from the front row of the grid. On the second row, it's right up at the front for Roman Kamyab. Last year was all about learning the craft of Mini X30. Now he is a front runner, and it could well be his year if he brings these good performances together. He's there third position on the starting grid for Fusion Motorsport. Alongside him on the grid, it is another of the new Spanish faces, Nicolas Garcia, and he will be there fourth position on the grid. It's a great new face for him, and hopefully a great weekend in the offing for the young Spanish charge. In fifth position on the grid, it's another familiar face, Josef Martin, who has been in the Mini X30 category before. He lines up fifth position on the grid for Monlau Competición from the inside of the third row. And alongside him on the grid for Dan Holland Racing, it is the Moroccan new boy, Ryan Bourguignon. And he's going to be there from sixth position on the starting grid. Keep an eye on this boy. He certainly had plenty of speed all the way through the week. And I have a feeling that Ryan Bourguignon definitely has a few choice manoeuvres to come in this race. Ben Smith of Great Britain lines up seventh on the starting grid on the inside of the fourth row for Fusion Motorsport, making good progress in Mini X30 now. He lines up alongside Bosco Arias for the AC Motorsport team. A bit of a difficulty in qualifying after several drivers in his qualifying group were only able to get one timed lap on the board. So he lines up eighth position on the grid as a result of that. Along then on the fifth row of the grid, we have the experienced Portuguese driver Maria Germano Nito for the FA Racing España team aboard her Alonso kart, and she should be very strong as always. Alongside her on the starting grid, it is the young Dutchman, Luke Taal, who is there for the Fusion Motorsport team, having joined the grid very recently. So he will be there in the fifth row of the grid. 11th position, you've just heard from him, the young Indian sensation Jagrat Datroja, and he will be there on the 11th position on the grid. The privateer, looking very strong indeed this weekend. Leonie Martinez will be lining up 12th position on the starting grid. The young Swiss driver, and hopefully she'll have a very strong and solid weekend. 13th on the grid is Jonathan Landstrom, the Swedish driver aboard his energy course. And it's going to be hopefully a very solid weekend for him. He's first in the IAME Euro paddock. Alongside him is the Portuguese driver Martin Marquez, who will be there 14th on the starting grid aboard his Paralin. And the final row of the grid for this opening heat, it is Raul Martinez, the 923, that will line up on the final row of the starting grid. And alongside him, the Spanish new boy, Giovanni Tarazona, who will be there 16th on the grid in his Tony kart. So the competitors are now ready to go for Mini X30. And obviously, as always, they will go out onto the circuit for their one out lap and then their one formation lap. And they will warm up the tyres and brakes to the optimum temperature. A lot of interesting grid positions in this first Mini X30 heat. some faces you wouldn't normally expect to see towards the front. Others who are developing that quickly that they are there by right. So it could be very interesting to see who comes through this first race as the opening winner in Mini X30 in the IAME Winter Cup 2021. This is all about evolution for the youngsters as they make their progress. The youngest drivers in the field, aged between 8 and 12. And these guys really do put on an excellent show in Mini X30. Because, of course, the karts are slightly narrower and slightly shorter in wheelbase, that makes the track considerably bigger, which means they've got plenty more overtaking opportunities and they can go a few more karts wide than you certainly could in junior and senior, which means there's even more overtaking opportunities in Mini X30 than there would be in junior and senior, which means drivers will try those moves with a little bit more conviction. And that always gives us plenty of drama and amazing spectacles. We've seen so many terrific races in Mini X30 in this paddock. It's one of the most entertaining racing classes in karting that you will ever see, as these youngsters are still learning their craft. And for many of them, this is their first tout at racing in Europe. So for them, it's a big deal. They want to put on a good show, but they also want to showcase their racecraft and skill. And just getting to this point is a victory in and of itself. There are so many drivers who want to get up to this point, but these guys have earned the right to make their tout on the grid. And all they can do now is go out and have fun and enjoy it and do the best that they possibly can. Nothing more can be asked of them, and they really have deserved this opportunity to get up to the European ranks. So the IAME Winter Cup, it's an important race for all of the Mini X30 drivers. They want to put on a great spectacle. But this is now all of the hard work that they've done through the week, through testing, through timed qualifying yesterday, and now obviously through the morning warm-up into racing they will finally go. This is where they will learn on the job. This is the tough thing about racing at this level. In the worlds of football, tennis, rugby, cricket, you name it, they do have practice matches, test matches if you will, and competitions behind closed doors. In the world of motorsport, in karting at this level, you never get practice races. You've just got to learn on the job and make your mistakes under the very open and public microscope of the world stage. So it's always a very tough test of a youngster's character, and it really does show the mentality and the wisdom of these youngsters as they learn on the job. So the X30 Minis head out onto the circuit. Qualifying heat A versus B. It's Sandro Perez on the front of the grid from Raul Jeanjardin on the front row. Roman Kamyab and Nicolas Garcia on the second row of the grid. Youssef Martin and Ryan Bourguignon from Ben Smith and Bosco Arias. Maria Gimananito and Luke Tal from Jaguar de Troja and Leona Martinez. Jonathan Nanstrom, Martin Marquez, Raul Martinez and Giovanni Tarragona. So the drivers will head out on circuit once again. 7 laps of the course. I noticed that there appears to be one driver missing from the fray, actually. I'm not entirely sure the reason for that. Oh, no, I was incorrect. They are all there. Just a slight hiccup with the timing screen in front of me. I do apologize for that. But they are now all going around on their out lap. And, of course, they have a formation lap after this one as well. Not very long, these laps, of course, even with a Mini X30 kart. 1.428 kilometers, this circuit. That's 1,428 meters. It's one of the longest circuits in IAME Euro, but it certainly gives us a great challenge for the drivers. And it's a very tough one, very technical in places. You've got a lot of fast straights and a lot of long sweeping bends, including this first corner. But obviously it gets very tight and technical as well. It's a real challenge, and if you win here, you really have got a very versatile nature as a driver. You can handle the drafting and the slipstreams, but you can also handle the tough and twisty nature of these circuits. No real changes in camber, but certainly the changes of apex are very, very difficult indeed to master. And it's a circuit that really does challenge the daring and punishes the ruthless. So the competitors are making their way around, and this is always a very interesting race for me personally, the first X30 mini race of the weekend, because you start to see what sort of mentality and what sort of attitude these youngsters have got coming into their first professional race of the season. I say professional race because, of course, the IAME Euro Series paddock is part of the CIK FIA sporting calendar. So as far as I'm concerned, that's as professional as it gets in the world of karting. Sandro Perez Raul Jeanjardin, Roman Kamyab, Nicolas Garcia, Youssef Martin, Ryan Bourguignon, Ben Smith, Bosco Arias, the Nito, Tal, the Troja, Martinez, Landstrom, Marquez, Martinez and Tarazona. This is well controlled at the front from Perez and Jeanjardin, two men who know how to control the field very well. They are stars in the Spanish circuit, of course. So they know how to control the pace of the field right from the start. Jeanjardin getting a little bit doubtful here from Sandro Perez, who's obviously got his own agenda, and now he's getting himself onto the main straight. I think this could be a perfect start. Away we go, and it's a great run down to the first corner for Sandro Perez, and he really has outfoxed the outside line. So the inside line drivers have made a perfect start as Youssef Martin makes his bid to get into second place early doors and has got through into second place. No problems at all past Roman Kamyab, and up the inside there is a big lunge already as Roman Kamyab retakes the place from his teammate Ben Smith. So Kamyab into third position once again, and Ben Smith in fourth. Not for long, because that's a big lunge on the inside line there from one of the Monlau Competición drivers. I think that might be Bosco Arias, who's made a good start. The 9:35 now running up towards the front. So a good opening lap as the drivers work their way around. That might even be another of the drivers from the Monlau Competición battle. So as they come through, it's actually the 9:30. So that is Raul Jeanjardin. I do apologise. Raul Jeanjardin still running towards the front end of the field. So Raul Jeanjardin battling there in amongst the two Fusion drivers as they get down to the final chicane to complete the opening lap of 7 here in the X30 Mini category. So the battle raging on the home straight. And up the inside, that's Roman Kamyab getting into second place past Youssef Martin. So Roman Kamyab gets a nice move there into P2. He was battling in the midfield towards the top 10 last year. Now he's a front runner as on the inside comes Raul Jeanjardin. So Raul Jeanjardin now into third position, and there comes the move from Ben Smith as he gets on the inside of Youssef Martin. What a great start to the season for Ben Smith. He really is going well, up in fourth position. And remember that any opportunity to run near the front for the first time, it's a big moment for a young driver because they start to think like race winners. So Sandro Perez leads the way from his pole position. Oh, a nice little tussle there between the third and fourth drivers, Raul Jeanjardin and Ben Smith. But Youssef Martin is there in fifth position trying to make his bid. And watch out for Ryan Bourguignon. Bourguignon is there in sixth position for the Dan Holland Racing Team. And the Moroccan star Bourguignon is going to have a really interesting battle too as he closes up and tightens towards Youssef Martin. Up the inside comes Ben Smith, retakes Raul Jeanjardin. So Raul Jeanjardin back into fourth position as he closes in again on Ben Smith. Smith signals to Raul Jeanjardin, we need to get on with this because the two guys up front, Sandro Perez and Roman Kamyab, are getting away. We can't afford to lose this so early on. So Raul Jeanjardin working with Ben Smith now as they run third and fourth. Fifth place is still Youssef Martin. Sixth position is Ryan Bourguignon. So Ryan Bourguignon, and then it is Luke Tal, Nito, the Troja doing well. Arias, Garcia, Martinez, Marquez, Tarazona, Landstrom, and Leoniela Martinez down at the back of the field for the moment. So they come through onto the third and final sector of the course. And this is a tough one for Ben Smith because he's got good pressure from Jeanjardin and Martin. I do apologise. Youssef Martin Kijeri doing a good job there in P5, giving pressure to his teammate Raul Jeanjardin Perez. But they come down to the chicane, and this is where Ben Smith has got to just ride the little nudges, use the bump draft. They say, don't they, that rubbing's racing, and certainly in karting, it's all part of the mentality. Luke Tal has closed right up on Ryan Bourguignon, and here's the move from Raul Jeanjardin, but he gets it wrong on the exit, and Ben Smith is back in front. Well read there from Ben Smith. He definitely intercepted that manoeuvre nice and early on in the hairpin. So that's really well controlled as Ben Smith holds on to third position for the moment. Meanwhile, Ryan Bourguignon has lost the place to Luke Tal. So Luke Tal has got into sixth position. The Dutchman going well here as he gets himself up into P6. But now there is a nice little tussle coming into the braking zone for the left-hander as Ben Smith continues to hold this line from Raul Jeanjardin and Youssef Martin. But these three can work together and make a big impression on the two drivers up front. They're only a second behind Perez and Kamyab. Kamyab still pushing hard. He's using the slipstream to really good effect here down the back straight and gaining good ground on Sandro Perez as up the inside. The two Monlau Competición drivers get past Ben Smith, Raul Jeanjardin and Youssef Martin, and now they are threatening to disappear to close up on Perez and Kamyab. So Perez and Kamyab doing a great job through the first hairpin as they continue on. It's going to be a very tough run as they continue to charge forward into the chicane. A good battle for them. And some really exceptional work as they come into the braking zone up at the hairpin. But what an exceptional run these drivers are putting on. Excellent performance as they come up the top end of the course. Darting through. So Sandro Perez having a good run as he continues on in front of Roman Kamyab, but Kamyab is definitely getting very close to him now. Only a quarter of a second between them as they come off the turn. So this could get very spicy indeed between the top two drivers in this category as they come down the back straight once more. Sandro Perez very much holding on here in front of Roman Kamyab, but Kamyab is making big grounds on acceleration. He gets in behind him and tries to edge away from the pair of drivers behind them because they are making big inroads into these two. Kamyab will want to make a move and make it fairly quickly, because the two Monlau Competition drivers are right there in third and fourth. Raoul Jeanjardin and Youssef Martin, and they will be working together to close up the gap. Very exciting stuff between the top four drivers as the teammates at Monlau Competition, Raoul Jeanjardin and Youssef Martin, are trying to close up on the leaders. Sandro Perez leading the way at the moment. Roman Kamyab in second place. And Kamyab getting very feisty in behind Sandro Perez. He's making good inroads down the back straight. He's utilizing the slipstream well. Not quite close enough for the move into the S's, but if Jeanjardin and Martin close up as quickly as they are before too long, it's going to get very close indeed. Up to seventh, by the way, has come the Indian sensation, Jagrat the Troja. The Troja doing a great job. He's worked his way past Ryan Bourguignon, and now he's closing up on Luc Tal. So Jagrat the Troja has a good chance of a top six finish here. And we've got one lap to go at the end of this one, so that could be one to keep an eye on in the background. But now Roman Kamyab is on the last lap behind Sandro Perez, the race leader. And he knows that the Monlau Competition twins are close, but he can't afford to lose too much ground. This is going to be a very interesting run for Roman Kamyab. Can he take his first ever win in the IAME Euro paddock, or is Sandro Perez going to pick up another one after his run at Valencia last year? The two Monlau Competition drivers are very close together and very close to the two leaders now. Jeanjardin and Martin have a good chance here on the final lap in Mini X30. They come off the turn, down the short stretch to the left-hand hairpin. Someone's going to need to make a move at some stage. Kamyab's getting very aggressive in the braking zone. That's good work. He's going to make a little bit of an edge through. And I think that's Luc Tal getting past Ben Smith for fifth position, with Jagrat the Troja very much in the ranks and there behind as well. But down the back straight, we're going to get a very interesting run from Roman Kamyab. This is his one and only chance to go for the overtake. Sandro Perez protects and covers to the inside line. Oh, and the Monlau Competition drivers have actually nudged each other. Perez is going to hold it from Kamyab. Third place is Jeanjardin. And a very frustrated Youssef Martin comes across the line behind Luc Tal and Ben Smith. That's going to be an awkward conversation in the Monlau Competition awning later. But a very tough end to the race there for those two. They just got a little bit too close together. But Sandro Perez doing a good run here in front of Roman Kamyab. Raoul Jeanjardin gets third position in front of Luc Tal, Ben Smith, Youssef Martin, and in seventh place, the very talented Indian Jagrat the Troja getting up to seventh position. Good work from him. So some good performances all the way through the field in that one. And once again, not a single retirement from the Mini X30 Brigade. 14.1 seconds covers the entirety of the field. Great racecraft from the Minis. They really are showing the seniors a thing or two. So a great little battle here from the Mini X30 drivers. It's an opening gambit. We're going to see their best racing, of course, in the final. They've just got to consolidate their positions, get as much out of each heat as they possibly can. They don't want to push too hard too soon, but some very solid driving and some very mature performances there in the X30 Mini. And that's just the opening heat. Their race, their next race is coming up after the next X30 Senior encounter. So we will see more from the X30 Minis this morning. There are 6 X30 Mini heats in total over the course of the day. But the seniors are coming up next after this one. But a very mature and composed drive from Sandro Perez, not allowing the pressure from Roman Kamyab to get to him. And the MDC Racing driver, really a solid drive from the Spanish driver out in front. Knows the circuit well, of course, but it's always easy to crack under the pressure when you are being hunted down by the man in second place. And Roman Kamyab really putting on an excellent show there in second place to give him plenty of pressure. So a really good start to the IAME Winter Cup 2021 in the Mini X30 category. Here's the provisional results. Sandra Perez ahead of Roman Kamyab from Raul Janjardin and Luc Tal. Then Ben Smith, Yusuf Martin, Jagrat the Troja, the Indian driver under a Spanish license, of course, Bosco Arias, Ryan Bourguignon and Nicolas Garcia. From Marianito, Raul Martinez, Martin Marquez, Giovanni Tarazona, Jonathan Landstrom and Leone Ella Martinez. All 16 drivers that started got to the end of the race, and a very solid performance it was as well from them all. Fastest lap of the race went the way of... just trying to see who was the fastest driver in that particular race. That was the 9.55, I do believe. Oh, no, apologies. It was the 9.30. That is Raul Janjardin. He got the fastest lap of the race in the end. And a very solid performance it was, too, to get him into the top three after a very committed drive.